Hey, everybody, it's your fearless girls leader, Dr. T. How about you take a moment, tag somebody, tell somebody, share it on your timeline. Let everybody know they need to tune in. It is time for your Fearless Fridays Nugget. It's good to have you on. And it's always good for you to tag at least three other fearless girls or fearless guys and let them know that they want to have a minute with me with this nugget. Let's do it. It's good. Always good to have you all on. And yes, the girl is rocking her trap gloss tonight. She is rocking Hood Barbie. Hood Barbie is in the building with the lips totally trapped. And I want you to go to trapgloss.com and get you some. Get you some trap gloss right there on trapgloss.com. Trap Gloss does a lot to host Fearless Girls things, and it's just always a joy to be able to share that with you. Trap Gloss had its soft launch at a Fearless Girls getaway, actually the one in Panama City, Panama, and excuse me. I want you to make sure you get you some. And if you haven't gotten you a new color in a while, it's time for you to get you a new color. Trap Gloss, it is in the building. Anyway, thank you all so much for tagging at least three other ladies. Tag at least three fearless girls or fearless guys. Make sure you're in the building. It's good to see you all on Trail. I see you. How are you? I see you, Missy. Yep, I see you, Cynthia. It's good to have you all on. Thank you all so much for tagging some folks. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with me right now. But I told you about the your trap gloss, so make sure that you get some trapgloss.com. Excuse me. Woo, okay. That's better. Anyway, last week, our Fearless Fridays nugget, we talked about the 2026 national theme, Women's History Month theme, leading the change, women shaping a sustainable future. And we talked about some really good things on that. We talked about a couple of things with your potential and all these other nice things. Go back and watch last week's. We're not going to talk about those nuggets tonight, but we definitely will get a nugget tonight. And one of the reasons I want to talk about this, and I think the national theme is so dope because it is us who need to make the impact in for our future. And I want to be able to do some great things. Hey, Deaconess, I miss you, girl. It's good to see you, daughter. But women, women change history, and when we change history, we cannot move alone. Excuse me. We cannot move alone. And the reality is, because we change history and we don't move alone, we move in a proper alignment, we move with a proper assignment, and then we move with a proper agreement. And those things really make a difference if we're going to be in a position where we are going to make history. Those are things that are critical. Hey, Drika, it's good to see you on. But I definitely want you to think that through, because every major shift with us as women, it can happen when we stop competing and we start connecting. We have to stop being in such competition with each other, and we got to start connecting. Why? Because when we move together, there are several things that happen, and that is what our nugget is all about tonight. And I want you to put alignment, assignment, and agreement in the timeline. Alignment, assignment, and agreement in the timeline. Hey, daughter, good to see you on. But when we move together, there are things that happen. The first thing that happens is we start to see sisterhood. And what's really interesting about that is there are, I was looking at a couple of what's it called, videos from before where many of you had given some feedback, and I think the team is going to be posting some of them. That's how I end up seeing some of those today. But they were talking about the feedback from some of the past getaways, and it was like, Sisterhood was one of the common themes. So the first thing that we'll see when we move together, when we stop competing and start connecting, we'll see that sisterhood. We'll start to see a real sisterhood because God never designed us to climb alone. And, there are many things in my life that if I could do them over, I would really get some help. So you realize that the woman next to you is not your competition. She's your confirmation, and we had one of the getaways, Hawaii. That's what it was. Boy, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. People were talking about all of the good qualities of the other sisters that they had garnered in the sisterhood with each other. And it was just so incredible. And that's why I say we'll start to see a sisterhood. And that's the first thing. And when we realize that the woman next to us, she's not my competition, she's my confirmation, we're going to do so much more together because God never designed us to climb alone. And that's why that's so important. Then the second thing is we start to strengthen our standards. My standards are going to be strengthened because you're going to help make me stronger. We're going to support each other. We're going to strengthen each other. When powerful women get together and we gather like really in an authentic way, mediocrity has nowhere to hide. We're not going to let mediocrity steal from us. We make each other better. We are better. We are stronger together. And I'll tell you this, you start thinking bigger, you start believing bigger, and you start walking in rooms that you used to think weren't for you. It is time for you to be able to walk in the room and say, y'all know I'm a Jesus lover, so I'm going to refer to a gospel song where we say, it's not wrong, dear. I belong here. You belong in those rooms. And if you have been feeling uncomfortable, it is time for you not to feel uncomfortable and to realize that you belong. And if you have yet to be invited into the rooms, I want you to get ready to be invited into those rooms. So absolutely, we start to see a sisterhood. Second thing is we start to strengthen our standards. And then the third thing is we start to step into our significance. I'm ready for you to step into your significance. First of all, put in the timeline, I am significant because you matter. And that's important. History is not made by spectators. We got to step into our significance. It is time for us together to make an impact. And that impact, it's made by women who show up, women who stand up, and women who can rise together. No longer will we be those who say, I don't have a lot of female friends. We're not going to be those. We have a sisterhood that is garnered. And that's important because movements, they don't just happen online. Movements happen when women gather in the room. And that's why I want you to be in the room. So if you're serious about moving forward, not just spiritually, but mentally, financially, and purposefully, I want you to be proactive and secure your spot for She Rises. That's right. She Rises. It is coming up in July 22nd through the 27th, and I do not want you to miss it. We're going to the Shy. Absolutely going to the Shy. And I am so, so excited about us spending time together in Chicago. If you have never been to Chicago, put a number 7 in the timeline. If you have never been to Chicago, I want you to put a number 7 in the timeline. But I don't want you to wait until the last minute. I want you to take some time and scan that QR code, and you need to register for She Rises right now. I see you. Janetta said her spot is secured. Yes, movements happen when women gather in the room. We don't listen. We have like right now we're online. We can have a great time online, and we're encouraging you. I'm encouraging you in terms of knowing how to garner this sisterhood. But I'll tell you, the real sisterhood is garnered online. Wait a minute. Y'all haven't been to Chicago? It is time. Oh yes, you got to go to She Rises. Even if you have been to Chicago, you still need to go. But all these sevens I'm seeing in the timeline, y'all definitely need to be in. You need to be in the Shy with your girl, your fearless girls leader. I got you, babe. We're stepping into this thing. And I want you to understand that we are going to have, it's time. When I tell you the fearless girls movement is real, it is absolutely real. And I do not want you to miss not a single part of it. And it is just nothing like being in the room. You gotta be in the room. And I need you to go ahead and get this thing done. You need to register. I'm telling you, you need to register. You do not want to miss being in the room, in the Shy. We are gonna have an amazing, amazing, amazing time. And I want you to go ahead and register. And know this, that I've got some great things planned for you while you are in Chicago. We've added this special VIP component that you absolutely don't want to miss. And now let me tell you, half of the VIP spots are already taken. I don't want you to miss an opportunity to be in the VIP access spot. I want you to go ahead and not slow burn about this thing. You got to go ahead and register for She Rises. You are stepping into this thing and you're going to step right into this with me. Now, let me share something with you all. And I'll share this and we'll wrap up our nugget because it's supposed to be a nugget, but I'm enjoying our time together. Here is something that I was having a conversation with one of the FG team, and we were discussing just how God has laid this thing out. No, I'm not telling you tonight about VIP, but just know you don't want to miss it. But anyway, we were having a conversation about how the Lord has laid this thing out. And when I tell you, y'all know I'm a Jesus lover, so that's what I do, is how I roll. And the Lord has had his wind at our back with this thing. So the first thing is I got a witness in 2019 to do the first getaway in 2020. And we set it up and I was questioning if I should do it, and I finally had to just reconcile in my mind that I had heard from God and that I needed to do this getaway in January of 2020. So we did the first getaway, and then that was January, and then in March COVID hit. And that was just crazy how the Lord did that. And then I had a witness for us to just do it different, but I knew that there was something different about it. And the Lord has subsequently done a series of things like that over and over again for us. And so I'll say this. I had a witness, and I didn't even remember this. The team, I'll tell you, Levette and I were having a conversation. And by the way, Levette has been to every getaway. And so Levette and I were talking about it, and Levette reminded me that I wanted to go to Dubai, and I had a witness to make a change. And once I made that shift, there was flooding in Dubai. So it was just great that we did not do it because it would have been messed up. Once again, God has his wind at our back. And then I had a witness for us to go to Dubai, and we end up going to Dubai in January. And when I tell you, dreams was absolutely epic. It was incredible. And so we go to Dubai back in January, and now there's all kinds of stuff happening with this war. But let me tell you all what happened before we went to Dubai. So I was having a conversation with the team, and we were talking about, yes, Levette does deserve a platinum star. But the team and I, we were talking at the end of last year, and we were talking about where we would go in July of 2026. And what's crazy is I was discussing it with them, and we were discussing Chicago. Chicago was really at the top of my list. And I said, I want to go international, but I have a witness that we should stay in the States. And I was asking for their feedback. The natural me wanted to go international. The spiritual me said, stay in the States. And so we set it up, and I talked to the ladies, and they came in with me and were like, we want to do Chicago. And then I was like, yeah, Chicago is definitely it. And so we put it in place that we were going to Chicago. And now look, aren't we glad that right now we don't need to be in international territory in July? Now, I think everything's going to be fine by July. But if I would have been telling you all tonight that we were going somewhere over in a Middle Eastern or even Europe, if we would have been doing something like that, if I would have said that, it would have been a nervous tension about it unnecessarily. So when I tell you God has his win at the back of Fearless Girls, and I don't want you to miss what God is doing. That's why you have to register for She Rises, and don't miss it, because when you miss these movements, you miss opportunities for God to do something incredible for you and to lift you up. And when I tell you She Rises is going to push you into purpose, you do not want to miss being in Chicago with us, July the 22nd through the 27th. So go ahead, do your registration. Don't miss VIP, because I don't want, and listen, once the VIP spaces are gone, y'all can't be trying to ease into VIP later. So just make sure that you are proactive and you get yourself ready to go. I am really excited about it. Don't miss it. I'm getting you in place now so that you can start getting everything ready for when we're in Chicago, July 22nd through the 27th. But just know without a shadow of a doubt that God has his wind at the back of Fearless Girls, and it is time for you to rise. So make no mistake, you know, as I always say, girls with dreams, they become women with vision. Make sure you register, and I'm going to see you in Chicago. Grace and peace. Bye.